DeAndre Ayton needs to have a hard dive to the rim. Hard dive. Because now as he has a hard dive, he's looking in the corner. Mikal Bridges then needs to rotate up to that open gap. Really forcing Nicholas Batum. Now it's 1 versus 2. Has to make a decision. CP3 over dribbles the ball. Now watch as you see the play develop. Bridges once around, standing around, not rotating up. If he rotates up, you're going to see Devin Booker at the bottom. He's going to try to rotate into that gap. Paul George sees it. He's communicating with Nicholas Batum as the play continues to develop. It's a late swing over. Nicholas Batum is not even paying attention to Mikal Bridges. Not even paying his back his turn to Mikal Bridges. That should be some kind of ball cut. Open up that corner, they swing the ball. They take a contested three. Look, they only made 14 threes, but most of the threes were contested. Basic gap principles, J. Rose. I mean, everybody in the Suns team, when you see a zone, you should be salivating. That's going to be wide open shot after shot, and you attack it by hitting the ball in the middle.
That's a great call. And also, that chess move allows you to play Boogie Cousins. And then he can come in instead of being taken advantage of defensively. He can get you 10 points in the first 6 minutes that he's in the game and ends up with 15 big points overall.
Okay, since you brought it up, let's talk about the support the Clippers have been getting from some of their veterans that are on the sidelines normally but have to play bigger roles because Jalen called it a little bit, okay? While Paul George is leading the way for the Clippers in Game 5, we saw Reggie Jackson drop 23 points with his 9th 20-point game of the postseason. Remember, he only had 7 during the regular season, and it was Marcus Morris Sr. He got the Clippers off to a strong start, scoring 20 points in the first half. He finished with 22 points after recording just 25 in the first 4 games of the entire series. And here's what Jalen called. Boogie. He called him Boogie. He called him into the game. DeMarcus Cousins went for 15 points, the most in a playoff game in his career, and he did it while recording only 11 minutes, accepting that role of playing in short bursts. I think it also goes back to Ty Lue and obviously being able to pull guys in, know their role, and have great, performances behind it. But what have you seen from the supporting cast, the veterans that have stepped in?
Think about it like this. A guy like Boogie went to Golden State and to the Lakers, now ends up with the Clippers with an opportunity to play minutes with Zubac out. He's going to take advantage of it. Same with Morris. Serge is out. I'm going to get an opportunity to play. And soon as he got an opportunity, also in that zone, Luke Morris, we got a chance to get some rim runs, get a chance to get some early post-ups. He was terrific the entire game for the Clippers.
I think early post-ups are exactly the point, J. Rose. I mean, in the last couple games, you saw the Clippers try to play outside in, and we said they need to play inside out. When Marcus Morris and Boogie Cousins actually demand their presence down low on the block, it opens up room for guys like Reggie Jackson, Paul George, to then start asserting themselves in the perimeter.
And you saw Marcus Morris in Game 5 really start to look like himself again. He had been in single digits for 5 straight games. That knee injury clearly was hindering him. This is a player who last year at the trade deadline, almost all the contenders in the league were after him. Lakers, Clippers, the Clippers trade a first-round pick for him. They re-signed Morris this offseason, 4 years, $64 million. This was because this is a player who they expected to be a cornerstone this time of year, and that would fly out even more important.
And also we can't mention the impact of veterans. Without talking about Patrick Beverly, the irritant. Devin Booker's been wearing this guy like a straitjacket. And also, he's a guy that's going to fight over a pick. Chris Paul goes up for a jumper. He falls down. He doesn't go help him up. He mocks Chris Paul. They have a level of toughness and physicality that the Phoenix Suns wasn't trying to find a way to match.
See, if I'm Monty Williams, CP3 is spectacular, but sometimes he dominates the ball. And I think when he dominates the ball, that takes a guy like Devin Booker out of his rhythm. That makes him play slower. Exactly. Devin Booker's good when he catches the ball down the hill. He's making moves, so they have to find a way to even balance that out.
CP3 has missed 11 straight threes. And then the other thing that I remind myself of, Boogie stole the ball from him at the other free throw line, beat him in the foot race, and dunked it. I was very surprised, so I don't know if it's him coming back from COVID or him showing his age, but I anticipate CP3 is going to be a lot more on his toes tonight.
I mean, we have to remember, though, that in the series against the Nuggets, Chris Paul was averaging 25 points, 10 assists, shooting at 63% from the field, only 5 turnovers the entire series. He missed the first 2 games of this series. He's battling back from COVID. He's shooting at 32% so far. But still, we do expect a lot from Devin Booker. You mentioned Patrick Beverly. He's shooting just 9 of 28 when he's guarded by Beverly. What adjustments are you making if you're the Suns? What do you expect to see in Game 6?
Well, if you're CP3, you do what you do. Find a way to get to that right elbow like he did against the previous previous series against the Denver Nuggets and Jokic, and you knock down your jumpers, and you just stop turning the ball over. I'll be watching to see if he has the legs to knock down his three. Also, Tyler goes zone again for the Clippers.
Basket cut. Move without the ball. So many times you see guys standing around watching CP3 as part of the audience wondering what he's going to do. That's when you need to move without the ball and be efficient.
Yeah, the fact that the Clippers are still in this series tells you have not seen the Suns' best, because the Suns' best right now, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and of course Devin Booker, if they're playing at a high level, I don't think the Clippers have the firepower to compete with that. That's how they close them out tonight.
Well, to be honest, though, I mean, the Clippers should be up 3-2 right now. They should be the ones up 3-2. Paul George makes 2 free throws. They are up 3-2.
Meanwhile, remember, in those first 5 games or first 4 games, they had outscored the Suns by 3, but remember, they were down. So it's a very close series. Like we said, it could have easily been flipped the opposite way. It could be 3-2 going the Clippers' way. And meanwhile, we're still waiting to see whether or not the Suns can clinch here. It's going to take another big performance from a Devin Booker, a CP3, or a DeAndre Ayton. We will wait and we will see, and we'll continue to break down the game. But coming up here on NBA Countdown from LA, they have over 30,000 points and 18 All-Star appearances between them, but only Paul George or Chris Paul can make their first ever Finals appearance this season. Who is under more pressure? We'll discuss it next.
62 yards, and the Seahawks have taken the lead. Well, that's a heck of a response to regain the lead after they've seen the touchdown to tie the game.
The second we just saw there was because technically when teams tie the game up, it's a little bit of a, how would you say, you kind of take a step back and have to get yourself regrouped. They regrouped in a hurry, didn't they? They attacked back after they've been tossed.
And in a big way, that was a statement-long touchdown.
City is easy when you're in good hands. Allstate. Click or call to switch today.
Next week on What Day Is It Anyway, you and your friends go to B-Dubs and play new plays and trivia. Team up every Wednesday night to win season prizes like $50K and a trip to Vegas. And no, you can't buy the Buffalo. Buffalo Wild Wings.
As they come up first
No
and 10.
fancy laser tool can compete with the well-tuned spirit level inside your
Forced out
gut.
to his left.
Scooch to the
And he was
left.
hit as he threw it
Scooch to the
there
right.
and forces it incomplete.
That calls for the champagne of beers. Miller High Life.
They have not allowed
Previous owners left in a hurry, so the house comes with everything you see. Follow me. And the architect simply outdid themselves. So, any questions? We'll take it. Great.
It will haunt your senses. The heart-pounding Audi SUV family.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. That'll be complete to Dobbins.
Yesterday's thinking is done. You know what, man? We have a ton. So keep pushing forward. Doing a better world for everyone. A different future. Start different.
At Home Depot, we know home means everything. As America's lender and the official mortgage provider of Major League Baseball, we fund more than 30,000 home loans each month, saving you money, providing mortgage solutions, personalized, and tailored to the most important homes in the world, yours. Call 44751 loan or visit us online today. Loan Depot, home purchase, home refinance, and the official mortgage provider of Major League Baseball.
This has been a long time in the making. It's Father's time. All time. Because I'm still Hello. I'm the new guy. Tell me about this epic stuffed crust pizza.
It's made with fresh, never frozen dough and stuffed with cheese.
All right, you called me. It is me.
No, I knew it was me.
Let me hear you say epic stuffed crust.
I'm David Collado. I chose the Smart Cash Card from Capital One because I earn unlimited 2% cash back on everything I buy. Last year, I redeemed $21,000 in cash back, which I used for new equipment to expand production. What's in your wallet?
Spring driving is here, and the countdown to luxury has begun at your local Cadillac showroom. Experience the iconic style and bold sophistication in a Cadillac SUV. Reward yourself and move up to a Cadillac.
Texas residents get this low mileage lease on a 2021 Cadillac XT5 for around $369 per month. Visit your more about Paul George because this season, PG has played 130 more minutes than the next closest player, and that would be Devin Booker. Now, that is on pace to be the largest difference in minutes between the top two players entering the NBA Finals in the shot clock era. Now for more on George and the Clippers' performance from Game 5, here's 24-karat Kurt Goldsberry.
The Clippers have been underdogs in these playoffs ever since Kawhi Leonard got hurt. But since then, they have won 4 of their 7 games against the 2 top seeds in the West, thanks in no small part to the performance of Paul George.
George, three-pointer, puts it in! Paul George exploding here in the third period.
Playoff P came up huge in Game 5 against Phoenix, scoring 41 and keeping LA's season alive. He was particularly aggressive, scoring 20 points in the paint alone, tied for his most in any game in his playoff career.
George drives past the rim, goes it sideways and up and in.
George became just the second player with 40 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 75% shooting in a playoff game, joining Patrick Ewing in 1990 versus the Celtics. Free throw struggles aside, George has done it all, scoring 20-plus points in all 18 games this postseason. Fortunately for the Clippers, he's also gotten a lift from Reggie Jackson in Leonard's absence.
Jackson long three, puts it in! That shot making is obscene.
Here's a stat nobody saw coming. Reggie Jackson leads all postseason shooters with 56 made threes, and he's shooting a red-hot 42% from downtown. If the Clippers want to force a Game 7 and add to Tyronn Lue's stellar record in elimination games, they will once again have to rely on massive contributions from both George and Jackson. Otherwise, playoff P may become off-season P on Wednesday night.
Good stuff, Kurt Goldsberry. He actually is a professor, by the way. Jay Will is not a professor at Texas, not yet. But let's talk about Paul George. I don't think we can throw enough flowers at him for what he's been able to do. 735 minutes. That's how many minutes he's played this postseason, and obviously no one else can literally touch that. And he's coming off of a 41-point playoff career high. It's impressive what he's doing without Kawhi shouldering all of this burden, and also dealing with just the outside pressure, the noise that he's dealt with over the course of his career.
Absolutely, and when he was in Indiana, for me, he was trending toward being a top 10 player, playing in the Eastern Conference Finals against LeBron James, had a horrific leg injury, reinvented himself in OKC, became an MVP candidate. But then a couple of turbulent things happened, like Dame Lillard's big-time shot, and then him calling himself playoff P, and then all of a sudden the media and fans start criticizing him. Now with Kawhi out, he's become that guy, and he continues to attack Jay Williams, and playoff P now has an opportunity to lead his team potentially to the finals.
You know what I recognize about Paul? That he's a master at that shoulder nudge. Like so many players when they drive, they extend that arm out multiple times. Like he's so strong upper body wise, you may not see that in his frame, but when he dips that shoulder, it always does enough just to create that separation, Jay.
And also, like, he's so smooth, he just glides. Like, we appreciate Kyrie Irving's handle. I'm telling you, when I watch Paul George, he's like a taller version of Kyrie Irving. The way he gets through traffic, he can go between the legs, behind the back, and like you said, Jay Williams, he creates space for a three-point shot.
I mean, got 75% from the field in Game 5, 13 rebounds. You add in there 6 assists. I mean, he got it done on every level. But let's talk about both Paul George and Chris Paul, because yes, pressure was on Paul George. And also, Woj hates these questions about pressure, but I'm going to do it anyway. Who has more pressure on them to make it to the finals? Is it Paul George? Is it Chris Paul? I mean, both of them obviously are carrying around a lot of weight.
There is an answer to that one. Let's go.
Okay.
It's Chris Paul. I mean, it's Chris Paul. And I think if you're the Clippers, what you're dying to do tonight is make Chris Paul have to play in another Game 7 and have him all of a sudden on the cusp, a 3-1 lead gone, all of a sudden it's 3-3 or going back home, and sort of all those ghosts and goblins that have haunted Chris Paul throughout his career on the cusp of, advancing to the postseason, on the way to the finals. That's where the Clippers are trying to put Chris Paul into in a Game 7.
And this is why I believe Chris Paul going to come out and be a pit bull terrier and send a message in this game. Exactly what you just said, because I was in the building when they lost to the Houston Rockets in that 18 or 19 point lead. And he understands and will have a sense of urgency. And he's going to make sure that they play a lot.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson escaping the pressure right. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 50, 30. And the Seahawks are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Two topping off flights and headed to Phoenix. Yours truly. Okay, we'll be right there on Friday at 9 Eastern. We've got the Clippers, we've got the Suns, we'll have a Game 7. Of course, we will get you all set with NBA Countdown right before on ESPN and the ESPN.
LA weather is winter compared to Phoenix.
Phoenix is like walking into an oven. Meanwhile, aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear, celebrating the drive that moves you forward. Goodyear, more driven.
Interception in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
It's funny how you can order the same thing from childhood all the way to adulthood. The only difference is, somewhere along the way, your McNuggets become the side order instead of the whole meal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Have an appointment to sell your car? We got an offer online. I'm not seeing Ubre.
It's Tsunami Poppy. Capital T. $. The way it should be.
Searching for meaning in a relentless world. Always connected. But somehow alone. Trapped by illusion. We offer another path where the battle to belong begins. Awakened by a calling. United by the cause you fight for. No one can take away your industry what it needs to be.
Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 28 yards. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown.
Like 20 to 50% off outdoor furniture. And the Radley section of $1,999. Plus, get a free adjustable base or box spring with qualifying mattress purchase. Now at Macy's. It started with an idea and became a new tradition. This is financial security, and Lincoln Financial Solutions will help you get there as you plan, protect, and retire.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And not a good return at all. Down inside the 10, all the way back at the 7.
Anytime you feel like you're back inside your own end zone, you got to be decisive about whether you're going to get it or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
But whoever made Arby's new 100% chicken breast nuggets really cares. A lot. The most. 2 for $6. Arby's. We have the meat.
They were backed up to start the drive, but how about that aggressiveness? Firing it downfield right away. Nice job there getting out towards what would have been a normal starting position.
It's that fast. Visa, everywhere you want to be.
Boss Baby is coming to theaters. Stream the Peacock the same day.
Dating the world is our family business. I feel like I'm surrounded by interns.
Boss Baby family business is PG theaters Friday exclusively on Peacock. Go to bossbabymovie.com.
The throw led him a little too far, brings up third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9. Open man is good and complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That gain on third down, good for 28. Play action. Wilson. Flush to his right. Going for Met. This is caught inside the 15.
Give us the
And
Subway
out of
Series.
bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Sunday at 7 on
Eluding
ESPN.
the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down.
NBA Countdown is presented by Mountain Dew, official sponsor of the
Nifty
NBA.
bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. From the gun, it's
It's Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Seahawks 27, Ravens 17. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing starting field position at the 40. And the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. Steps away to his left. And now he'll let this one go. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 33 yards that time.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead, 26 yards. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score.
He was able to move around and found some vision to throw the football. And how about how he ended it? Boy, he had some zip on that throw.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have an arm like that. Results in the touchdown here. Great play offensively. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Seahawks 27, Ravens 24. Justin Tucker.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And it'll be a touchback as Tyler Lockett says, I'm not going to return this one.
5-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Pretty important third-quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
First down, Seattle.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Matabike. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Escaping the pressure right. They'll try and run it. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Wilson now. Off play action. Sliding out of the pocket.
And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set down. If they want to take another shot and try to loosen things up, that
urge forward for about 5 yards down to the. They've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Justin Matabike able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Wilson and the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And that is incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. Forced out to his left.
Oh, didn't give me my pick.
Goal separating these two sides. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
No.
He'll look to throw. Open man is Duvernay. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Tackle made by Bruce Irvin. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
Another run here with Dobbins. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Jace!
They'll say no gain on the play.
Change the launch over.
Down.
Brings up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah. Change the launch over.
Jackson to throw. Flushed out right.
Oh, I was there.
On the dive, and he has it. What a catch.
Oh.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Back to throw. Being chased out left. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. After the interception, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Wilson on the keeper. Out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's second.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Wilson looking for the end zone. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, but he will not be able to bring it back. My goodness, what a bizarre ending. The kind of decision that could get a quarterback released before he gets back to the locker room. But fortunately for him and his crew, the ball game is over.
24.
Well, partner, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended. Down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal and go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys are going to continue to get more and more traction in the league. We've talked about different people now saying, I need a game management coach, someone in the booth to take the emotion out of it. Did they lose track of where they were on the clock, right? Did they lose track of where they were on the field? Was it makeable for their kicker? All those things come into play here, and it turns out they don't get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.